Hey everyone, this is Chris Jeffrey of Memory Express. On this episode of FYI Facts, we'll be discussing LCD monitors. Now when it comes to picking an LCD monitor, some of you may be asking questions like, how big of a resolution should I get? What is LED backlighting? What's with all the different types of panels? Why does my screen look darker at certain angles? What's with the contrast ratio, refresh rate, hertz speeds? Well, here are the facts.
An LCD, or liquid crystal display, is a flat panel visual display that uses liquid crystals, polarized glass, and electrical currents to produce the image displayed on the screen. LCD monitors first used cold cathode fluorescent lamps to provide the backlighting, but have recently changed to LEDs for backlighting. By doing so, LED backlit monitors now have a slimmer design, higher contrast ratio, and a better power efficiency compared to the cold cathode fluorescent lamp variants. One of the properties of an LCD display is that they have a native display resolution. If you look closely at an LCD monitor or LCD TV, you can see a mesh-like pattern on the screen. The little squares are called pixels, and each pixel contains a red, blue, and green subpixel. The screen resolution will tell you how many pixels there are on the monitor. So for example, if you have a monitor that is 1920 by 1080 or 1080p, then that means you have 1920 pixels going left and right and 1080 pixels going up and down. Typically, the more pixels the monitor has, the more detailed an image will be. There are two different types of aspect ratios for LCD displays. The common aspect ratio is 16 by 9, with some examples of screen resolutions at that scale. The other aspect ratio found on the market is 16 by 10, with again some examples of screen resolutions in that scale. Now, there are numerous screen resolutions in today's generation of LCD displays, depending on the size of the screen. Most monitors that are 19 inches or smaller will have a screen resolution of 1366 by 768 or 1440 by 900. These screen resolutions may be referred to as 720p. 20-inch and older 22-inch monitors will have a resolution of 1600 by 900 or 1680 by 1050. Newer 22 to 27-inch monitors will have a resolution of 1920 by 1080 or 1920 by 1200. These resolutions may be referred to as 1080p. High-end premium 27 and 30-inch monitors will have a resolution of 2560 by 1440 or 2560 by 1600. These resolutions may be referred to as a 2K display or 2K resolution. Newer ultra-high definition LCD displays, typically between a 24 and 32 inch, now have a resolution of 3840 by 2160. This resolution may be referred to as a 4K display or 4K resolution. The other important features for LCD displays is the contrast ratio, brightness, response time, and refresh rate. The contrast ratio is the luminosity ratio comparing the brightest and darkest color the system is capable of producing and is divided into two different segments. A static contrast ratio is the luminosity range of the brightest and darkest color that can be generated simultaneously at any point in time, while a dynamic contrast ratio is the luminosity range of the brightest and darkest color that can be generated over time when the image or picture is in motion by adjusting the backlighting. The brightness of the display, specifically the emitted luminosity intensity of the screen, is measured in candela per square meter. The higher the number, the brighter the screen will be. The response time, measured in milliseconds, determines the time the display needs to refresh itself when the display image changes. The closer you are to zero, the less ghosting or trailing you will encounter. The refresh rate, measured in hertz, determines how often the display will refresh or update the display image per second. So if a display runs at 60 Hz, it will refresh itself 60 times a second, whereas a monitor with 120 Hz will refresh itself 120 times per second. LCD displays also have different panel types with different characteristics. The most common LCD panel is a TN or twisted pneumatic display. This panel is relatively inexpensive to produce. has some of the faster response times out there and can have a higher refresh rate compared to some of the other panels. However, TN panels do lose their color accuracy when viewed from a left or right angle and suffer from color and brightness loss when viewed at a bottom angle. MVA, or multi-domain vertical alignment panel, has a higher color contrast and will not suffer from the same viewing angle problems compared to a TN panel. This panel type, however, does suffer color contrast distortions when viewed from an angle and may have a higher response time compared to a TN panel. An IPS, or in-plane switch panel, has the highest color contrast and brightness of all the panel types and does not suffer from color distortions or loss of brightness even viewed at extreme angles. However, IPS panels do cost more to produce and have the highest response time of all panel types out there. However, newer variations of the IPS panel, such as Samsung's PLS technology, now have response times closer to MVA panels.
For more information on LCD monitors, please visit our website at www.memoryexpress.com, or you can visit us at one of the following locations. If you have any suggestions for future FYI topics, please drop a line in the comments section below. Please subscribe to our newsletter for the latest promos and daily deal offers. This is Chris Jeffrey of Memory Express with FYI Facts. See you next time.